Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane. We are off here to a 1 vs 1, a Monday novice fight. So yes, indeed, brace yourselves. Things are about to get educational? I don't know. Either way, they're not going to be pretty, that's for sure. We're seeing here Colpin fighting for the Soviet Union and the 10th Rifle Corps. We're seeing conscripts on the way, combat engineers. Commanders all being chosen. Guards motor going out against downloader of the German forces. Obviously SS Panzerbrigade Gross. Grenadiers on the way, and what commanders has he chosen? He's gone straight on here for mechanized assault. Interesting enough, he's not going for assault grenadiers. He's just training grenadiers so far. So of course, I have to see how this works out. Heading towards the west here so far, in fact, seems to be what Colpin is doing as well. Conscripts, grenadiers being made here from either side. No support weapons so far.
We have it.
Alrighty then. Bit of rushing there towards the few point there, although noting he doesn't seem to be connecting in the point before that, so that could prove a bit tricky. Additional grenadiers there, more conscripts on the way for Colpin.
You need something demolished?
Slowly marching ahead there, same over here.
There are no cowards here.
Here.
This territory is ours. You need something built?
Right here already, one thing we sort of realise again, I mean there's no real benefit to clumping up troops that close to each other, in particular that close to a base, generally a bit better spreading out, trying to get more territory, but apparently Downer is extremely well. We're seeing here 3rd Grenadier Squad so far, no support one from him, engineers going out in front, quick retreating, realising he's overstepped his bound. Colbin's immediately orders to retreat of his combat engineers, well done there. Good realisation there of the situation and immediate retreat. Not going to waste troops and manpower on that. There we go, he's not going for that, in fact he's going for here, so that will be a bit time there as the munitions point is connected first. We're seeing here that Downer is advancing pretty aggressively there, 2 grenadier squads working together. I mean there's nothing wrong in having them work together, but generally again I mean a bit of a spread is alright as well. Going for the centre victory point there. Engagement up here, conscripts versus grenadiers. Grenadiers might want to sort of take up position. There you go, though Yuri goes down. Rather rapidly, one lost there to the Soviet Union. And he's going straight here for the coal point, it would seem. That's going to be a bit unfortunate. Support weapon company, absolutely seeing support ones there. Missing further grenadiers arriving here for down. He's up to 4 grenadiers squads right at the moment. Not a single sign so far of what he's actually chosen as a commander. There's the assault grenadiers. Nor any support weapons for his grenadiers. Right there, of course, we are seeing the cut-off point has been well cut off, leaving Mr. Colpin here with large swaths of territory which he can't utilise at all. Support weapon company up, grenadiers moving in here, trying to sort of secure, or at least render neutral as much as possible. Bit of ooh-rahing there. No Molotovs anti-tank grenades going now to see if we can reconnect. Interesting enough, down over here did not seem prepared for that eventuality actually happening, and not setting up 7-1 here to even just remotely guard it, which could have been helpful. Squad here hanging about doing nothing. Pioneers advancing into conscript, and we are seeing another Grenadier squad, so we are looking at 5 Grenadier squads, and there's some of them actually just standing about doing nothing. Right here then he says tactics are beginning to seem a bit well, some of the guards are a bit crude, just spamming Grenadiers. But also a bit, you know, again, crude in the other department, and he's, you know, handing back a lot of staying around. It does seem to be such a clear strategy going on here. Pioneers rushing straight into the conscripts. Maxim arriving here to support Colpin and his conscript Nicky there. Going straight for the coal point again, but clumping up, that's never going to be helpful there for the Maxim gunners. Thank you, comrades, for making it easy for me to suppress you. Goes moving in there, straight into a larger force of Soviet troops. Remember to use cover in Deckung, Right there, of course, goes coming in the fire from the Maxim. Hang on a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
must defend this
He's got 6 Grenadier squads. That is some pretty serious Grenadier spam right here going on from Downloader. The squads are being pushed away here. But 6 Grenadier squads, that is a bit risky in many departments. In particular, the way he's actually then spreading them out. Lumping one force together there. The SS Panzer Brigade, of course, was one of the few SS Panzer Brigades actually exist in the war. The other one was 150th, under a certain German commander, whose name right at the moment actually escapes me. Sometimes I did bad with names, I'm afraid. But Constable running right through here, this large gauntlet of Grenadiers, taking a few losses there, but ultimately making out they're alive. More guns hanging about there. Light machine guns getting upgraded on some of them. Fight here as well. Very little cover usage from either side. Hardly to the advantage of either side as well. In that department, I mean, there's definitely something that can easily be worked on, which is, you know, use bloody cover right there. It seems like Downer realizes just in the nick of time. Scheiße! Männer! Get behind something, you know, so you don't get so many bullets stuck in you. I think the Führer might be a bit upset about that. Heavy mortar ramming here for Colpin. Large force hanging back again. I mean, there's lots of that from Download. I mean, he just has large swaths of troops then standing about, doing absolutely nothing, apparently having a nice little ceremony about something. Yeah, the weather's nice, isn't it? Yeah, isn't that some of our guys screaming and dying over there? Maybe. Should we go check out? Nah, I don't really feel like it. I mean, come on, Downloader, get your ass into gear. This isn't the Hilfsschule anymore. Get to the front line.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture.
And he's running straight into the Maxim nut. I mean, he knew it was there, so why would he even run into it? That was just poor tactical sense. In particular, doing so with a light machine gun, which is not a weapon that shoots on the move. I mean, I really have to stress that light machine guns do not shoot on the move. Some kind of flying gun here. Colpin not reacting, and Colpin not retreating his conscript squad either. Mortar rounds there flying through the air. Introducing a second Maxim, by the way. Conscript squad actually miraculously made it out of there alive. And there we go, light machine gun firing practically at point blank. Doing a bit of work there on the Maxim crew. The Maxim crew definitely getting worked over, but somehow still managing to escape. No taking up so far, and again, lots of Grenadiers standing about doing nothing. How many does he have? He's just spamming them. Just spamming them. I mean, it's unbelievable. We're seeing his opponent perhaps is realizing what's going on, and it's getting one of the more obvious counters for it. Which is obviously some tanks. Heavy mortar thing to find there. I mean, so far, I mean, Colpin is reacting nicely to it, although, I mean, a bit delayed, and certainly, I mean, it's a pretty hard thing to sort of predict. You know, your opponent will just be mindless and spamming Grenadiers. I'd certainly be caught by surprise by that as well. But also, at the same time, we're clearly seeing one issue that is actually appearing for it here for Downloader. And it is, again, he's handling so many units, he can't handle them all. I mean, we're saying several times we could easily be, you know, putting up more pressure. I mean, we just seen, you know, half his force standing about doing nothing except counting the grass straws. I mean, that's hardly optimal. That's hardly optimal at all. Although we do note here, he actually makes use of his commander. We're seeing a 250 half-tag out here. Sonderkraftfahrzeug 250. A lighter Schützenpanzerwagen, mainly used for reconnaissance units. Although some other units might have had from time to time. Although in the end it was actually basically phased out in favour of the 250 half-tag, as the Germans figured. Well, that did the job quite as well as that one in reconnaissance purposes as well. Alright, they're driving in, fully equipped there with Panzer Grenadiers with Sturmgewehrs. Able to do a bit of damage there. Just keep moving, Hans. Keep driving, keep driving. Enschnaffi seems a bit slow there to retreat. You see this is up. Driving up there on the Maxim crew as well. In fact, this could prove to be a bit of a disadvantage. He's got nothing to stop it. I don't even think he's got anti-tank grenades. Nor any guardsmen with light machine guns. Driving straight into the base, straight after the support weapons.
Enemy forces are attempting to
Do see T-70s on the way. We're just seeing them driving straight into here, popping over to downloader, who's got plenty of fuel, by the way. He needs to stand to take up, but does the thing. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squads on them. And there we go, one squad wiped, the other one's allowed to move out. But note here what he's then doing. I mean, again, there's just several times where, you know, his actions don't make any sense. I mean, and I'll just pause to sort of really briefly emphasize it. I mean, there is nothing in the base they can harm. Everything else is out on the battlefield. He could be going after that, forcing that to retreat again, but he's not. He's just standing there shooting at a bloody wooden bunker with weapons that won't do anything against it. And he knows there's a chance of enemy armor ramming. He can see the tank of a battalion command, at least he bloody well ought to be. And, you know, he's apparently not thinking, you know, there might be a tank coming this way. I mean, there seems to be a clear disconnect. I mean, we seem to be dealing with an extremely crude strategic mind. In some regards efficient, but also, I mean, again, not very efficient in other departments. And right here we're seeing here T-70 versus the half-track. He's not even pulling back. He could easily gotten it somewhat out of there, but nothing's happening. And there we go. Half-track wrecked. Panzer Grenadier is not retreating still. Almost wiped out, in fact. And there we go. Only then does he actually then proceed to retreat. And again, now he's just blobbing up. I mean, we're clearly dealing with someone who's not that comfortable with the game, and certainly, I mean, resorting to some rather lazy tactics, which is basically blobbing up and hoarding up, and again, just having units staying about. I mean, he definitely needs to work on his unit management. So at least to a certain extent. Yes? Because it's extremely inefficient in many departments. Yes, I mean, it possesses a lot of raw force, but versus a clever opponent, at least a heavy, semi-clever opponent, I mean, you're actually going to run into some serious problems. And right now, he's got one massive problem, which is his opponent has a tank. He's got nothing except Panzerfaust to stop it, and the T-70 is rather adept at it, so he's going to need to play rather cleverly. And even then, he might suffer quite brutally. Of course, you can upgrade some of those plans because you have to reinforce them and then try to hunt down the Panzercheck, but you know, at the same time, if you just pull back that 250 half-track, you could probably save it. Had those side upgrade with the Panzercheck and then hunt down the T-70, but not happening. Not happening. Grenadiers moving up there. Panzerfaust off. And again, while nice in some departments, I mean, he's not finishing it off. And again, we're just seeing lots of troops doing nothing. It really seems to be the hallmark of this kind of thing, you know, just lots of troops doing nothing. And right here, I mean, Grenadiers, they're just fighting versus T-70. They don't have a chance, and there we go, wiped out. 1, 2, 3, 4. In fact, he's just lost 2 infantry squads. That really ought to be an indicator that something's not right, yet he rather persists at it. And again, no cover either. I mean, that's the sort of thing you don't get when these kind of attacks again. No usage of cover. No real unit preservation. He's serious unit preservation as well. I mean, it could easily been, you know, minimizing losses greatly by even just utilizing cover. But it's not happening. It is simply put not happening. Now we're seeing a Stuke 3 out. Which overall, considering the counter Jason is perhaps not the wisest of choices. Particularly knowing his opponent actually has a tank.
Now call in Model E assault guns, Commander. They're attacking! We need orders.
It costs the same thing as the T-70, but I definitely rate it as much less worth than a T-70. And right here, what's he doing? He's just driving straight into his opponent's space. I mean, he's not even caring about, you know, what's actually going on. He's ignoring the guardsmen who are actually firing vigorously away at. He's only do some damage here, but the question is, will he be able to? So that's really, you know, one of the problems with this 2-3. He can really shoot a lot, but, I mean, only on some rare occasions will it overall be effective, because many times he can shoot almost directly at an opponent and still do bloody nothing. I mean, it is a unit I personally think really needs a buff or 2, because it is currently rarely if ever worth the price. And now we're seeing a field gun arriving, and again he's just driving around mindlessly. No support. I mean, an assault gun, it's not a tank. insane. Not this to 3E, this is a support weapon, yet what is he doing with it? He's driving it around as if those were a bloody tank, and he's just getting it wiped out without killing a single thing. An absolute waste of resources.
One of our panzers has been destroyed.
And again here, Panzer is fighting versus T-70. Close getting wiped out, and they're just handing it Veteran G2.
Production upgrade accomplished.
I mean, Downloader really has some serious issues to work out on. And I'm not talking psychological issues. I'm just talking, you know, stop bloody well holding around and blobbing around. Begin using cover and react to what's actually going on. And right there again, just blobbing up. Right here we see a field gun right now, which might fire a straight up barrage at it. It seems like in this case Colpin is merciful and decides not to punish his foe who has been naughty onto the side otherwise. There you go, heavy mortar firing away at this hoarded up mass. And we got a heavy mortar. I mean, again, he knows his opponent has artillery. And that was a bit slow. I think could have done that fast. But even then, I mean, he just blobs up. I mean, that could easily have been game over right there with a single shot there of a good one from the field gun or from the mortar. I mean, that could have been one shot. And, you know, giblets everywhere. I mean, again, very crude tactics and strategy going on here from Downloader, and it's really beginning to show its kinks already.
Yes.
And hardly standing up to things at all. Quick rifle grenade here. Nice barraging there. Looks like pantry checks are on the way. That should help things a bit as well. But again, considering his tactics, that is questionable. Heavy mortar sneaking about there on its large wheels. In general, though, I mean, they'd actually unmounted or unlimber it from the wheel thing there before firing it. I don't think it was very common to actually fire it like that.
And he shoots as bad as he smells! We are ready!
And he is pretty blindly moving into things. Launching the rifle grenade here. No regard for what seems to be going on or the rest of his force. Support armor core moving up might provide some kind of solution, I suppose. T-70 still needs further repairs, by the way. And again, another wave assault going in here. Boston Flak Panzer on the way. Heavy mortar here running into a volume of fire. It's having a bit of trouble reconciling themselves with, and decides to retreat instead. They'll be now seeing that Colpin is doing a bit the same, just blobbing up right next to a point. I mean, you know, had Downloader been paying a bit of attention, you could probably call in the artillery strike and then wipe them all out as they're taking a point. And there you go, large part of the force there. So we still got two squads. T-34 arrives here for Colpin. Perhaps that will provide some kind of solution for the Soviets, anyways. Right, here we do see one mistake from Colpin, which is he's driving straight up to the infantry, particularly the Grenadiers, with Panzerfaust. That is generally not a clever idea, since he knows they have Panzerfaust anyways. And of course, with Panzerfaust nearby, I mean, that's practically a death sentence. Heavy mortar though does not work, but ultimately the T-34 does get cooked up like a scrap metal goose. Panzer X flying there, not really connecting with much. Flak Panzer is great.
I'm so sick of these Russian assholes!
Flak Panzer moving in here, dealing with the guardsmen. Turning into them up close. With its 37mm high explosive shells. Reinforcing. Generally, units would not have an awful lot of flak panzers. Generally, most self-propelled anti-aircraft guns were basically mounted on half tracks, or, you know, not self-propelled at all.
Fire!
We have taken it.
Little fun fact there. Maxim up here.
Full strength!
Grenadiers managed to clear out that
Enemy is
field
attempting
gun.
to steal our sector.
Taking a bit of points here. T-70 not doing anything to deal with the army over here. Interesting enough, they're taking nasty hits as they're getting maximed as well. And looks like the Flak Panzer slowly moves up. Pioneers following up. No attempt at calling in artillery on the position or anything. Field gun recruit. And immediately opening up down the Flak Panzer straight in front of their lines. Again, holding up, moving out. So far, no further losses. But oh, he needs to pull back that Flak Panzer already. And back to Colpin here, who's actually suffered some nasty losses himself. Definitely also needs to work as a preservation there, I think. He could, you know, be using the secure mode ability right here to just take the victory point while they're busy there, but apparently seems to think nothing of it.
We have taken it.
Also noting at the moment, Colpin is flooding quite a bit of manpower. He could be setting up fuel cast if he wants armor or something, but generally you'll not be flooding that much manpower. Also, these conscripts should be pulled away. They're down to 2 men, yet he's operating them pretty close to enemy territory, in fact, in enemy territory. There we go. We are seeing him blobbing up, but at the same time, massive mistake here. He should be retreating right away. But actually decides to engage the blob here. Pretty damn risky, though he actually gets off several hits here. T-70 doesn't need to escape there. Panzer 6 rocketing against the armor. T-70 makes a bold escape there, in fact. And of course, I mean, just holding up like that also makes it overall difficult to control the map. In this regard, you know, Colpin is actually reacting in the proper way. He's actually harassing him everywhere else where the blob isn't. That is good. That is good thinking right there. And that is definitely something Colpin should be complimented on. Right here, barrels would be nice.
Do you need something?
Or a precision strike from the heavy mortar. Instead, he... Oh, dear. Well, there we go. Heavy mortar just shatters the Grenadiers behind the light machine gun as well for someone to pick up. Flak Panzer slowly advancing. Retreating gun crewmen are getting shot at as well. But still overall, despite some of the losses he's suffering, he's actually taking away most of the map right now. And again, that again highlights the problem with just blobbing up like that. And we're seeing here a second 250 half-track. Surprising move there from Downloader. Not necessarily a bad move, but certainly surprising. I mean, it is an overall interesting combination, but of course the question is it worth the price, since it is a lot of manpower amongst other things.
We are losing territory.
Anti-tank rifle ready.
Another T-34 on the way. Flak Panzer rolls forwards. They're being secured by the half-track mounted Panzer Grenadier.
The enemy is attacking our HQ.
Going straight for these bases as well. Oh, might lose the T-70 right there, and by Joe, it happens. Nice anti-tank mate there, and that should make the Flak Panzer an easy target, since it already is, though. Garsman looks like they will get it, and there we go. Who's it snagged? Noting as well, actually, now he has 2 heavy mortars. That's quite a bit of artillery there. He can muster against his fascist foe.
T-34, crude, loaded and ready. Our territory is falling into enemy hands. Engineers ready for assignment.
Now all things are quiet. We see here some effort being made to take back territory. The main Grenadiers and Panzer Grenadiers moving out, securing land left and right. Enemy mortars doing what they can to make things as painful as possible for the advancing Germans as well.
Engineers standing by.
And it's actually time for the mid-game analysis in terms of damage. I mean, we are seeing Colpin leading in terms of kills, though Downloader is in the lead there. So in some departments, actually rather equal in some departments, but at the same time, I mean, we are seeing some nasty losses going on both sides. But also some departments, crude tactics, although that's mostly right here with the very brute force tactics going on here from Downloader, poor utilization of cover, hoarding up, no real flanking attempts, and, you know, other fun business like, you know, wasting 250 half-track groups and what not. Also, no mines whatsoever laid down so far by either side, which could definitely help either side as they gain territory. Also noting here, Colpin has a ton of munitions. A few mines in the right places could probably help a lot out, in fact, with his horde, considering downloaders' tactics, if one was to be kind and call them that. So there's definitely some problems. I could consider saving up, but again, you know, he's probably should have had a few cars up sooner. At the moment, he might just be better off with some more field guns and T-34s. Otherwise, you know, he needs to somehow set up and properly punish this block. The 2 heavy mortars will definitely help. A field gun with a light barrage in the right place will definitely also do its work. He needs to begin recruiting some of those lost weapons, like the Maxim there, and sort of added in once more, versus the German infantry. I mean, if you can sort of really catch that blob and, you know, punish it, I mean, you can essentially break downloader right there on the spot. And certainly those 2 heavy mortars will be prime examples, although he should probably pull that one way again. I mean, there is nothing actually forming a screen in that department. There's one massive problem for Colpin, which is no infantry whatsoever. He needs more infantry, more boots on the ground. Otherwise, he's not going to last much longer, I think. Over to downloader here again, who's bleeding our infantry on there. And he's got no pioneers, he's got plenty of infantry, but nothing else except half-track with some infantry in it. So in that department, he actually needs to look into that. At the same time, it's looking rather close like he might get a Tiger tank. That could prove helpful as long as he plays it sensibly and supports it sensibly. And, you know, conducts a proper assault, then he might be able to actually finish it off rather soon-ish. But again, that then depends that downloader can actually execute some proper tactics with it and not just, you know, brute force it and hope that somehow just wins him the match. Well, that's really sort of his main problem. Again, there's very little tactical sophistication or any tactics at all going on from him. And that's definitely something he needs to work on alongside unit preservation. But let's return here to Colpin, let's return to the fight. Heavy mortar here exposed, not even moving as the Germans advance. Incredibly courageous comrades, or maybe it's just slow. There we go, he's taking a nasty hit, there we go, looks like he might get the heavy mortar. And there is no need to retreat, there we go, one squad pulling away. Other heavy mortar being in trouble, field gun actually in trouble. Never mind, the grenades did not make it, they got murdered. Don't get too close to the enemy base, and there we go, in fact they did do some opening up. There you go, heavy mortar strikes upon the grenadiers and panthers, they need to retreat. Zurückfallen! Rückzug! Come on, get the devil out of there, Heinrich! Fritz, Helmut! Another squad lost, I mean... Just terrible unit preservation, just terrible! He never seems to pull back in time.
I love playing with fire!
Despite his troops being in a terrible condition. And doesn't seem like he's actually opting then for all of a sudden. He seems to be going for resources for something else rather than a Tiger tank. I wonder what he's thinking. This downloader. But now he's actually been massively bled out. The exact thing which he really shouldn't have had, but you know, which definitely gives Colpin then a massive breathing room to get things back in order. Now getting Panzerjacks here, I mean, he's only really effective versus enemy light vehicles and light tanks versus the T-34 tactic is extremely limited effectiveness. He's been rather better off not upgrading them at all. Instead expending munitions on, say, mines. Mina. Heavy mortar rounds there trying to make contact with it, and we're seeing a Panzer IV now arriving. Again, the Tiger seems to have been forgotten. Grenades exchange there. Nasty hit there. The Panzers definitely had it much worse than the Guardsmen. Grenades are going to take up positions there. The light machine gun firing into, but we do see Soviet light machine guns responding. Panzer IV could have been moving in, but isn't again just downloaded, seems to do nothing. Same with this half track. Not much happening. Panzer IV still not intervening. Now looks like the half-six force again. Had he then not upgraded them, he probably could have hunted it down, but now with only 2 assault groups firing, chances are less likely. And there's really a lot of odd ideas going on there from downloader. And certainly I'm having a hard time seeing the logic in half the stuff he's doing. Panzer IV still not moving at all. rather unfortunate. Half-track here likely going to be able to be abandoned soon. I'll like closing this off. Anchor is going straight down against T-34. Ah, Scheisse, what are you thinking? Downloader. With an anti-tank rifle, needs to retreat. Zurückfallen. Panther 4 still not moving a bloody inch. Well, they might be able to get another, get a Tiger soon then if so wants it. More T-34 is rolling out here for Colpin.
Ready!
Finally laying down some mines there, good work. About damn time too. Also nice junctions by the way, he's actually choosing to mine. So not going to fault him for that, but he needs some pioneers by the way to repair this. Alone Canadian squad flanking in. Panzer 4 moving in. Panzer Grenadier supporting there, lots of Panzer section in hand. Mind you, in general, Panzerschrecks were handled by more specialist Panzerjäger squads rather than just, you know, some Panzerschrecks handed out to people. Just a little fun fact there. Just a little fun fact there. Panzerfaust, on the other hand, were pretty much handed out willy-nilly to whoever was needed. But Panzerschrecks were more specialist unit detachments. Panzer Void and needs to be careful of exposing his rear. There's a field gun right there. What are you thinking? Download. Oh, wait. Yeah. T-34 down, so both T-34s actually went down. The Panzer 4 still he's not moving 1 inch. And we're seeing a Tiger tank has been sent in to support the Panzer Brigade. Panzer 4 needs to fall back. Instead he's driving it straight at the field gun and the guardsman. And he's not even repaired the half-track. What is he thinking? Canadians need to retreat. Come on. Vacating the half-track there. Might look to clear up the max, but then they'll just need to retreat! Ah, Scheisse! Downloader, you absolute clot whiner, do display some kind of concern for the troops under your command! Tiger tank driving straight into the enemy's space, not concerning itself with the units here, like say the field gun, which you know, might be something to deal with first. Instead going straight for the base assault. I mean, he seems to be utterly oblivious of anything. And that seems to be so far what's somehow also holding him up for so long, but really there's some massive problems with the beast playing, and already there, I mean, Tiger too close, hit with an anti-tank grenade. Doing some damage here, I suppose. Panzer squad down, field gun firing away, hitting the support weapon company from which it came. Some infantry units moving up, others reinforcing, not really looking good, barely any units left. Support weapon company down. Still plenty of resources floated, field gun firing away, he needs to deal with that. On engagement over here.
Our command post is under assault.
Plenty of resources being thrown once more for Colpin. Back to downloader. Light barrels going in here on Colpin's position. Clearing up the field gun crew. And now getting Sloop 3s all of a sudden. No idea what he's thinking here, no idea. And again, I think that's largely to percept, but again, seems to be a lot of brute force tactics going on. Looks like he's trying to clear out the regimental field headquarters, although he might want to focus first on the Tank B Battalion command to prevent any further tanks being called in. We've seen guardsmen arriving. Stu driving in. No response to the attack infantry, lots of resources being floated. Machine gun down. Guardsman moving in. Tiger tank exposing its rear to the guardsmen. Come on, and he's targeted them. And interesting enough, despite having the munitions, we're not seeing Colpin trying to utilize marked vehicle on the Tiger. That's definitely a missed opportunity right there.
The rifle infantry squads are now available.
Now we see Tiger T-34 arriving, but Max down there just briefly wanted to show it off. He definitely had the resources to touch. And again, exposing the rear. No sign then again of marked vehicle on downloaders tanks. Stu 3 is fighting versus a few squads, but not moving up to support the Tiger at all. I mean, there just seems to be no overall strategy here for downloader whatsoever. Now we're seeing the Tiger tank getting around, and there we go. There we go. Tiger tank largely wrecked now. And about to go down. Now the Stooks finally make their way, but it's bloody too late now, and there we go. Tiger tank wasted. I mean, it did some damage, but overall it's rather for naught. Barely got any use left. Guardsmen and forts and hordes versus the damaged Stooks, by the way. No repairs. I mean, not a single pioneer from downloader. And as Mark noting, the Stook is not really having much of a time there versus the Guardsmen, which gets eventually flee with high rate of fire and high penetration up here. They're just tearing through the Stook 3. There we go. Down. An 8 on the Panzer Grenadiers. And there we go. Another Panzer is wasted. Another Stook going down. Just a massive waste of manpower and fuel right there by downloader. And another T-34. Will there at least be a Panzerfaust? Nope. Panzer going to be a torch. Now we see a Panzerfaust off. But like about to lose the Grenadiers again. No, it looks like they somehow managed it despite the odds, which were heavily stacked against them. More Grenadiers on the way, still no sign of Pioneer Squad or anything resembling that. And just loads of smouldering wrecks. Rapidly losing map control, seemingly focusing now also on the victory points. After having failed with his utter focus on base rushing, it looks like he's seeing away a heavy mortar here from the Soviets.
Requested units have arrived.
Not sure if that will have much of a success. The Platoons, I expect, he might be flying blindly. Need to fall back.
We're being flanked here!
Reinforcements!
Come on, downloader. Display some concern for your men, even remotely.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Yeah? They're flanking us!
He could call down some artillery right here to sort of try and catch them by the point, but no interest in that either. 400 manpower by the way, being floated here by Colpin. Nothing further happening there, just to speed this up.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector. Territory is out of contact.
MG-42s are here!
Consistently upgrading Grenadiers without machine guns, I suppose that's something. Quick to slow their retreat in the face of heavily equipped Grenadiers. T-34 field gun firing in. Might hope to do some damage on again, clumping them up, making them easier targets. They've got barrel rush right in the nice path there of the advancing horde. Good job there by Colpin, does the trick and forces away the units. I mean, Colpin does react nicely whenever this happens, and you know, chooses to barrel rush at the right times. That's actually good to note there. And certainly a viable use there for the field gun to basically break up infantry assaults like that. So nice big thumbs up to Colpin there. Heavy mortar recruits, all of a sudden download actually has a support weapon. And a Soviet one at that. Not to say the Germans didn't have their own 120 mm mortar, as they did manage to pretty much copy the design and use it themselves.
Fucking Rus bastards are We can go down, Ivan, with our new MG Grenadiers!
Grenadiers versus Guardsmen. T-55 engaging Grenadiers over here. Grenadiers might want to consider falling back. Zurückfallen! Ah, scheiße. Grenadiers also need to pull back. And heavy mortar, which could also be secured by the Germans, it seems, but not. Guardsmen here falling back.
We are suffering losses.
And another squad minded lost there by Downloader, tragically so.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Heavy mortar rounds flying all across the battlefield. Oh, nice grenade there, wiping out Grenadier squad again. Colpin needs to be careful. I mean, he's bleeding out so rapidly. Lots of heavy mortar rounds sending bits of wheels and everything flying all over the place. And holding straight at the field gun here, trying to clear it out. Looks reasonably successful. One thing to note here, I'll just sort of pause to point out, I mean, generally when you're pulling away a field gun or an anti-tank gun from advancing infantry, you generally want to reverse move because that keeps the gun shield in front of the enemy. That actually soaks up some of the bullets. It actually makes it a bit harder to lose the crew rather than if you expose the rear and thus the crew. Little thing there to keep in mind. You might find it surprising that these guys need to be pulled back again. He's just constantly overplaying it.
You have orders?
Looks like he got a bit lucky here, but he needs to pull back that Grenadier. Too valuable to waste it like that. Come on, Downloader. Ach du lieber. Nein. How can this be?
Contact! Inside them! We are being fired upon!
Panzer IV is ready for battle.
Quick bun grenade there. More troops getting wasted. Another Panzer IV rolls out here for Downloader. Things are actually falling apart for him. Looks like the Panzer was going to try and react to this. Intrusion.
We are losing the sector.
T-34 rapidly rolling away there.
We have a first blood. The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
And there you go, Panzer IV almost wrecked already.
Yeah, we're ready for anything.
Got the heavy mortar continuing to provide fire support for the surrounding area. Guards moving in there on the hunt. Anti-tank was going at the heavily damaged Panzer IV.
We have 200 points remaining.
Suffering a bit of damage there. Heavy mortar being assaulted.
The enemy has broken our supply lines.
3 Guardsmen squads there encircling the Panzer IV. We do see some infantry now taking up positions around. Nope. Just sticking around the open again. No real cover usage, just blob, and heavy mortar got cleared out, and now the T-34 arriving. And there you go, Panzer IV in fact got wiped out by some Guardsmen, although they took a bit of beating themselves. Quick about landing through the window, and that took out quite a few Guardsmen right there. More T-34s arriving, back to Colpin. Just bits of Heinz and Fritz all over the place. Another squad down. Guardsman squad veteran 3 by the way lost here tragically. But again, just little cover usage if any at all. And there we go, game over. Really brutal, a really crude novice match. I mean, really again displaying, why you need to use cover and, not blow up. I would also show you the dangers of actually spamming too much to simply lose control of everything. And in that case, I mean, that's really the problem with this downloader. He had so little control of things, he constantly lost sight of what he apparently wanted to do. You know, he'd just have units standing out in the base doing nothing. He'd waste tanks there. I mean, there was just no real coherence. He'd lose control of the map constantly. He had problems holding on to things. No pioneers after the first one. No mines. I mean, there's really so many problems there. I mean, there's no real current strategy. It's just brute force. Let's spam a lot, then go for some tanks and hope tanks win us the fight. And they didn't, because he didn't know how to get the most out of them. I mean, there was extremely little maneuvering there. There was just, you know, pretty much some sort of kind of beeline movement, but, you know, ignoring all the enemy and taking massive damage in the process. Poor unit preservation. No use real of cover. I mean, there are really so many things there to criticize. Downloader 4. I mean, it was nice to see some of that 250 half-tech usage, but that was about it. I mean, Colpin also suffered out some of the issues, but at the same time, you know, he reacted a bit more gracefully to things. He knew how to handle the blob to a certain extent. You know, the heavy mortars were a nice touch. In terms of commander usage, I mean, he used, well, 2 of the abilities, no self-repair. Mark vehicle definitely helped him, and, you know, no T-34-85s. I mean, there were some nice moves there, but at the same time, he suffered also a bit from the same problems as Downloader, but not quite nearly to the same level. I mean, he was a bit more sharp on keeping his units moving, and certainly no real spam from him. So, I mean, he certainly handled better, but there are also some problems having his tanks too up close to enemy infantry and getting wiped out in the process, not putting troops back in time in several cases, a bit too much as well, and also not really good at recurring weapons. That's definitely also an issue there, but overall, I mean, he handled it better, and again, we see the highlight, ultimately, you know, just spamming stuff and blobbing up won't get you to victories, even if your opponent's just even remotely sharper than you. So, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this fight. I hope you learned something from it. That's really the primary reason for the Monday Night fight, to sort of look at people's mistakes and point out why they are mistakes, look into why they are mistakes, and what could you, for example, do better. In this case, you know, use bloody cover, spread out. I mean, there were some nice units used, but... and some nice reactions again, you know, again, if your opponent's attacking with infantry, you've got a field gun, badass shit. So, this is Imperial Dane saying cheers. Hope you learned something. If you did, why not subscribe, tell your friends, share it. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.